So if you're a content creator, you might have heard by now there's a great idea to separate your personal from your business expenses for, at minimum, for tax reasons. We just finished tax filing deadline in the United States, and if you didn't already, you could have filed what's called a Schedule C along with your tax returns, especially if you are a full-time or part-time creator and you're a W-2 employee. What Schedule C does is allow you to write off some of your expenses like your laptop, your equipment, your sound equipment, trips and things like that. You do events that you create, that you go to, related to your content creator as a business expense. And you know it's a great idea at minimum to have a bookkeeping service. You don't have one already, I'm going to put a link down to QuickBooks, which is the standard, and other like one-time paid offers, services that I use and I recommend and I'm partners with below. Or you can get a separate bank account. Now, there are other reasons to separate your business from your content creator business from your personal business. And if you were sued, God forbid, by someone and you were to be found liable or to be on the losing end of a tax debt, or Federal Trade Commission or some other agency found you liable for violating some sort of rule, that your personal assets, your home, your car, your clothes could be used to satisfy a judgment. And that's because you wouldn't have separated your personal self from your business self. Now, that is why you might have heard of things like limited liability company. So those are creatures of the state. It's separate from corporations, which are federally recognized entities. A limited liability company essentially allows you to run your content creator business out of an actual entity. So if there was a judgment, the winners would only be able to attach or get, recover from the assets of the business, which may be your equipment, accounts receivable, or things like that, and they wouldn't be able to attach your personal assets, and you can continue to be good. Now, you may know that there's costs associated with that, and you may not be willing and ready right now with the resources to hire an attorney like myself who can help you create your LLC and charge between $250 and maybe $2,000. If that's you, don't worry. Fortunately, a lot of the states, irrespective of what the office is called, in the state of Maryland it's called the Department of Taxation and Assessment, you can actually go and download the form for free and only pay a fee of perhaps $50 to up to $200, and maybe an expedited fee if you're in a rush. And you can have your LLC in weeks by yourself, do yourself. You don't need an attorney. Alternatively, there's a middle ground, and I'm going to help you today with the middle ground. I'm going to show you and walk you through the process of getting an LLC. I'm going to use my state as an example, and then I'm also going to use my partners, uslegalforms.com. What they do is they gather all the various different documents that you needed for each state. You enter your state, and they produce packages of the forms that you need, and it's already pre-filled out. You just have to add your name, and boom, you're go. It's the best of two worlds. It gives you the language of a professional lawyer drafted document, and it's a little bit less complex, less simplistic than the simple basic form you're going to see on your state form. You may feel better having it and knowing that you have the proper forms, because if you were to look it up yourself, it's possible you can get the wrong forms and you have to start all over again, and it can be daunting. It's really, really complicated. So what I'm going to do is try to ease your fears and allay your stress and anxiety by walking through it with you so you feel comfortable. So when you go, you would have already seen this and had an attorney walk you through it. All right, so if you're ready for that, let's head over to the computer. So we're at the computer. So in a few minutes, what I'm going to do is do a Google search, because that's where you're probably going to start. And you're going to search how to form an LLC in whatever state you're in: Minnesota, Florida, Texas, Ohio, Wyoming, Alaska. And I'm going to do my state because I'm in Maryland. And I'm going to walk through creating an LLC. I'm not going to file it because I don't need to file one, but we're going to go through the motions of filing it up until the actual submission. Now, for the second part of this video, I'm going to walk you through using uslegalforms.com. When you enter your state and you join, and I'll walk you through that whole process, and then I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so we are going to start with a fresh Google search tab. Search, let's say, form an LLC in Maryland, and search. You are going to see several for-profit businesses. You know it because it says .com are going to pop up first, like LegalZoom, for example. You're going to go to the first website linking that has .gov, because that's usually the government. You may also see a .org. This is an org. This is pretty cool, but most likely this is an organization that helps pro se or like people who are don't have an attorney file their forms, but always go with the one that says .gov. So you click there, .gov, and let's open up. And here it's Maryland Business Express. There's a notice about scams that's going on that's usually common. So here you go down, it says start a new filing. Your filings that are incomplete. Oh, I kind of started one that's incomplete one here for this purposes. But all right, so start a new filing. You have business filings, managing existing filings, file an annual report. That's something that you're gonna have to do every single year after you get your LLC. End or revive a business. I talked about in my recent video that you can revive an existing business, or non-Maryland business. So non-businesses in Maryland can file a foreign business if you register someplace else, but you maybe have a satellite office in Maryland, or you provide services or products that you sell just to Maryland, for example. So let's do new business filings. Register a business. You can do a trade name, or you can register tax accounts with the comptroller. We're doing register a business. Then you're going to get a bunch of options. So you don't necessarily have to register sole proprietorship. That's just you. Partnership. So here we're going to do Maryland Limited Liability Company. If you want to know what any of these are in Maryland anyway, you hit this I button. It's going to come up with a little pop-up that explains to you what this does. It's a legal entity. It's for information about Maryland. So there you go. So we're going to hit Limited Liability Company. And we get Limited Liability Company. You have options to either upload your own documents. So if you get an attorney like myself to create documents for you, there'll be custom. It's going to use a lot more legalese language. You're going to use this option, or your attorney would upload the documents for you. Or if the attorney gives them to you to file for yourself, you would hit this button. But for purposes of us, you're doing it yourself. You don't have an attorney. You're going to say, I'm going to use the online forms. Most states have online forms. So save and continue. The next step is going to say the business name. So let's call this, I don't know. Sometimes you want to avoid putting your actual name on there. There's various different reasons. I may put a link to a 10-minute podcast I did about the importance of not using your own family name on there. A lot of times for vanity's sake, people want to use their own name, but it's not a good idea. So let's call this, I see Berlin. So Berlin Creatives. Just making this up. I'm not going to follow this. Suffix, you have your different options. Whatever this is, that's what you have to put in your letterhead and your formal documents. You just pick which one. I like just the plain old LLC with no comma, no dots. It's simple. I don't have to worry about misspelling the word limited. I don't have to worry about a comma being there or a period. So just LLC makes it simple. So it'll be Berlin Creatives LLC. You can search the names to see if this already exists already, because you don't want to have the same creation that's confusing. So you can do that. I'm going to do it in a second, but I also want to point your attention to the progress for Maryland anyway. It says first you do your business name, then you're going to put your information, then you're going to identify a registered agent, then your contact information summary, and you're going to certify. So we search the names to see if there's any other Berlin Creatives that exist. It's like a formal name search. I'm not doing that. Okay, no, we're not doing that. Next step is to fill out the form. So you put your address here. I'm going to put 1234 on Main Street. Let's make this up. Put Baltimore, Maryland, because Maryland's already filled in. The county, Baltimore County. Zip code, I'm just going to make it up, 24832, whatever. I don't even know it's a Maryland County. The email address is going to be, let's see, Berlin at gmail.com. The phone number, I'm making this up, 123-456-789. And then it says, in order to operate your registered business, it has to be, do you need a license? If you are doing like a nail tech business or mechanic business or something, you need a license. You hit yes, you'll be taken to another page to register to get the license to operate this business. But for content creators, we don't need a license to be a content creator, so you can say no. Something really quick you need to know for Maryland, it says P.O. Box or Dropbox is not acceptable. So if you have like a UPS store or some sort of other Dropbox, it's going to get rejected. So make sure you have a resident. You can use your home for purposes of registering this, and then afterwards, if you identify and find like an actual street address, you can then put a street address that's not your home listed here. But for the purposes of just starting it, you can just put your name for now. You need an agency. Do you need a license? The answer is no. If you're not certain, you can put no, but content creators, you can just hit no. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, no. Continue. Hopefully it lets me go past. All right, I'll put my business number in here, 615-29. All right. Then hit continue. Okay, now you're going to pick a registered agent. The registered agent cannot be you, or it can be your house. So if you put your home and your name, your agent has to be someone separate from you, but also live in the state. So it could be a Maryland company, because there's some companies out there that part of their service is to be your registered agent. So you pay them an annual fee or a monthly fee, and they are your resident agent for purposes of receiving mail from the state, from the government. If you were sued, that's the person that would get it. So I'm going to put an individual. You can put an individual. So you can go into your My Contacts if you already have contacts listed there, or you can just put a name. So I'm going to put, I'm going to make up a name. I'm going to say Mary Jane Candy. Phone number, 301. I'm going to just make up the number. Oh, if this isn't someone's number, I'm just making this a number. The email, maryjane@gmail.com. maryjane@gmail.com. Contact address for resident agent. This is your address, 459-182 Cooper Lane. I'm just making this up. College Park, Maryland. Just making this up, 20740. And then you can add this to your contacts for the future. Just if you want to save and continue. Okay. Now, you can have alternate contact. This is great. For example, if you move, or the person who is listed as your resident agent moves, or it changes, you can have this alternate person that the government can access, or you can just have them in there. Or you don't have to put anything there. So you just hit continue. Okay, so the next step is to search summary. So the name, Berlin Creatives LLC, the Maryland address, it's not a P.O. box, is here, the mailing address, the email, the phone number. It doesn't require a license. This is my resident agent, which is someone who I know in the state of Maryland. This is their address. Their address has to be separate from my address. This is my name, my email, and I can proceed to certification, and then that's it. And then after that, you have to fill out the form to file. I believe it's $100 to file, $150 you want to expedite. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because I made this all up. I just wanted you to run through it to see how simple and easy it is. Other states have similar processes and similar forms, online forms, and the process is almost identical. Some other states have various different requirements, but you'll be able to see. A lot of times they'll have a FAQ page or a page that would help you fill it out that explain anything that's uncertain. But now you know that's how you fill out an LLC in Maryland. Okay, when you go on uslegalforms.com, you'll see that it has 85,000 state-specific legal forms, not just business forms. It also has like personal forms like wills, power of attorneys, things related to divorce, family and law matters. For here, you type in limited liability company, and then you use a drop-down menu and you search and you find the state. Once you do that, you hit search. It's going to pull up a listing. It's going to pull up actually first packages, and you're going to see frequently ordered. But if you get the subscription, you get it all. It doesn't matter. So when it says buy now, you're not buying just the package or you're buying the documents. You're going to have access to it. Once you have a subscription, once you purchase a subscription, you'll get all of it. So here, for example, you see limited liability operating agreements. There are questionnaires to make sure you fill out the questionnaire, and based on your answer in the questionnaire, it's going to give you a document that's custom to your needs. So that's really great. I like the fact that it also has in addition to articles of organization, which is like the LLC version of bylaws, and then LLC version of articles of incorporation. Anyway, here you go. So you have either basic package and premium. Now it's $8 a month for the basic, which is a document you just get and you can print it out and fill it out by hand. However, for a few more dollars a month, for $15 a month, you can get the PDF version, so you can just fill it in online. And it also has sign up, so you can actually do signatures. So for a few more dollars a month, it's worth to get it that way versus the basic when you have to print it out. The headache, the time you save is worth those extra dollars. However, you should also know that if you pay monthly, month by month, the price jumps. So when you do month to month, I'm showing you here you sign up for Signature, a Slate app, and there's an app that lets you sign up. You probably have heard of DocuSign, so it's kind of like a DocuSign. Anyway, so alternatively to doing the month-to-month annual base payment, you can see it's $180. It's going to be $15 for 12 months. You pay in advance up front. So that's one option. Now, some people may not want to invest that much they might just want to use it for a similar time. You get it monthly. When you do monthly, the price jumps from $39 a month for the actual documents you fill out to $59 a month, which is the fillable one, an online fillable one with the DocuSign version of it. And that will bring the price down you'll get billed $59, which again, it's still worth it because if you're looking at hiring someone like me or an attorney to draft all these documents custom, you'll see that the documents you get are like really detailed. Might be intimidating, but you should know that once you fill out the questionnaire that the language is really custom. It's attorneys drafted, and it kind of looks good when you on your website or when you have the documents, you have like a longer one versus like the just basic one, the people just fill out when they want to start a company and they're just doing the really basic bottom basement. So you can pay with PayPal, you can pay with your credit card, and then it reroutes you after you pay for the credit card. So we're going to walk through after you pay what it looks like on the other end when you order the documents. And I'm also going to talk about the other types of forms that are available, the other types of legal documents, not just business documents. So after you purchase the subscription, you will see that you can download the document, and you can download it in Word format or you can download it in rich text. And when you download it, it's essentially going to download onto your hard drive on your computer. And then from there, you can customize it. You can add the different words. Now, one thing I'll tell you that some of the language does seem complex. So this is where you might feel the need to want to maybe hire an attorney, and you can hire me. Again, I'll put a link down below where you can have me create a custom form for you or interpret the forms for you as a part of a service. Or you can just try to read it yourself. But for the most part, it has all the form language in there, and it's for the most part neutral, as opposed to a document that you might have gotten from another party where it's drafted by their attorney, so it's going to be favorable to them. So any forms you get from uslegals.com, it's going to be just neutral forms. And so wherever email you put that you get the subscription to, that's the email that they're going to send the documents to. And where you were to need a support question, you're going to put the email that you signed up with. And then also that's the email that's going to have all the subscription information. And again, like I said, this it's better to do if you do a monthly program, it's going to be more expensive. It's $8 is the cheaper package, but you pay $8 in advance. If you get the more advanced package, it's $15 in advance, but then the price goes up if you do a monthly. So you see here you have the different agreements, the LLC operating agreements, and there are other forms. So employment forms, there's confidentiality agreements, there are board minutes, buy and sell a business, there's small business packages, there are forms related to some small business packages. You can enter it by your state. And so what I recommend you do is, while you have access for the subscription service, is go through here and get as many of the forms you need right now, and then potentially maybe just unsubscribe if if you feel like you don't need it, or if you want to have that as your backup going forward and it's within your budget, you can just continue to subscribe on an ongoing basis. But these are all the contracts that they have here for various different contracts. Again, this is not really for content creators. This is for general contract. But if you have someone in your family or life who has like a traditional business, you can also, and they need forms, you can maybe use their forms as well. And then look, it goes into estate planning, wills, home sales, divorce, wedding certificates. So it's not just LLC. So when you get this subscription, you can actually use it or peruse it, go through there and see if there's any other documents for your state that you might need while you're there. So go ahead and take them and download them. And so you can create like a nice library of content for you. Like, here's information for like a no-fault divorce. I mean, hopefully no one needs a divorce, but in case you do, or someone you do know you need a divorce and it's no fault, meaning like there's not a lot of conflict, you can do it yourself for the most part. You don't necessarily need to hire a lawyer, and it gives you blank divorce paper. So for example, this is Maryland family law. You can download it, and it has a free preview here to show you what it looks like in that package. But all the packages, so long as you subscribe to the subscription, they're all included. I think at one point they probably paid per document, and they realized, okay, a subscription format is probably better and more economical, which is great, because with your month you get paid, just get as many documents as you can. That's what I recommend you do. And it says, they also have actually a service where they interpret the stuff for you, and it's more hands-on if you're interested in that. But here again, for example, with the divorce packages, you can enter whether you have children or not. So essentially you just fill in the forms, drop down, and based on what you fill in, they produce a document that is custom to what you put in when you entered in the questionnaire. So the questionnaire gives you a document for someone who has have debts, or who has joint like assets or things like that, or who have children, compared to someone who don't have any kids, they don't have any property, and they don't have joint debts. And so once you do that, you're going to get a document for your situation. So that's an example of non-business things that you have on there and support. So if you're interested in that, that is definitely an option for you to use going forward. As and like I said, the benefit of it is that you don't have to worry about getting the wrong document, which is a possibility. I hope that was helpful. Stay tuned to my next video, and I'm going to show you how to create your own website. Really simple and easily with no skills. Stay tuned. Watch this playlist next.